So you're still in beautiful Saskatchewan, Canada?
Yeah, we're broken down and just waiting to hopefully get fixed here to get to Edmonton. So
I'm actually born and raised Saskatchewan, so I'm excited to see. Are you just on 16, just outside of Saskatoon, or were you on your way to Lloyd's?
We're literally right by the venue from last night. We literally
You're right by Sastel Center, hey?
We literally made it. I can still see it. Like we made
That's
it like
amazing.
half a kilometer. So
did Nickelback just leave without you guys, or is it all the same bus?
Well, the buses, we try to get them all to travel together, but they're not going to wait when we're, sitting here for 12 hours. So
yeah. So you might have to almost hop on a plane. I guess you guys have a rest night tonight, right? And then you're playing Rogers Place tomorrow.
We might also just get like a Sprinter van or something like that with the trailer.
Yeah, very fair.
I think it's only about 6 hours. So yeah.
It's not too bad. Double A in the whole way, and at least we're still able to connect, man. It's great to meet you. It's weird. It's always weird listening to an artist that we have been so much for the past 2 years and then finally getting to talk a little bit too. It's kind of a surreal full circle moment. How have you been feeling? Have you been finally getting your toes to the ground, or are you still kind of up in the whirlwind trying to figure it all out?
I'm definitely, it's like days like today where you're like learning new things and, figuring out scheduling and timing and trying to treat yourself good. And but no, I definitely it's all still very exciting. Like every show is a little different, and moments like that. So it's definitely like sit for a minute sometimes and go, wow, this is really happening, and try to take in the little things too.
Now, for people in our CISN country, listening audience might not know, you played Saskatoon on Thursday. You're playing here in Edmonton Saturday night, and your bus is just broken down. And I've heard through the grapevines that this is kind of like a good omen, right? Like it's the meaning of something good. Is this your first time ever kind of having a vehicle breakdown in your career so far?
So far, this bus has been very interesting since we've had it. But
okay.
But this is the first long one for sure that we've been kind of sitting here being like, what are we going to do? So we'll find out here, but hopefully Edmonton's going to be something special because of it. So absolutely.
Is this your first time inside Rogers Place, opening up for arguably one of the biggest bands of our generation here?
Yeah.
And it's awesome because I've seen Nickelback a ton of times, and they've always brought through these huge rock bands to open up for them.
Yeah.
And now they're kind of playing to their roots of a little country music along with yourself and Brantley Gilbert. How has that reception been for people that you've probably have seen Nickelback a numerous amount of times too?
Yeah, it's been really cool to see. I mean, as a lot of us probably know, the country genre right now is so open with the rock and pop and mixing all kind of stuff. And in my sound too, like I'm still kind of navigating, trying to figure out each song, what I want it to sound like. So it's been really cool to see it kind of translate. We weren't sure about, like taking songs out like First Taste of Gone, because we're like, maybe we got to play stuff that's more rock based, but it's all gone over really well with, even playing ballads and stuff like that. And then Brantley's so awesome and rocking and stuff like that. So it's fun to see it all kind of come together. And then we kind of all have a moment together during the Nickelback set too, which is fun. So
I have seen it. I'm not going to spoil it. I saw it on a bunch of buddies' phones last night. So it's a cool surprise. And again, it brings through everything you just said with the genres all coming together. And you're singing a song that is a surprise. I won't spoil it, but that everybody would be like, okay, that makes sense on any station that you listen to anywhere.
Yeah. No, it's been really awesome. And then, just on top of that, like Brantley being such a great guy and Nickelback and Chad and their whole band, like everybody's just been, it's been a really great tour so far.
That's cool, man. I want to kind of start a little bit to your roots because you got into this country music scene a little bit late, and I'm sure you're sick of talking about this, but I know our CISN country listeners would love to hear. You had a full-on scholarship, and you thought you were going to go play a little football, right?
Yeah, I like at least CFL. Like, I mean, obviously everybody wants to play in the NFL, and I would have been lucky to probably even make practice roster kind of for that. But
yeah.
But no, I love football. I mean, I loved a lot of different sports. That just ended up kind of being the last one, and then it was weird. Music kind of just came out of nowhere. I always kind of like sang for fun and would jokingly sing and get noise complaints in my residency and go to karaoke nights and like all that kind of stuff, but not to the point where I thought this was what I'd be doing. It's funny because people are like, did you ever think you'd go on tour with Nickelback or do? It's like I didn't even think I'd be singing songs for a living. So that's definitely really cool.
Yeah, I can imagine you being one of those guys. Like Sam Hunt was one of those guys, right? Where you're kind of good at everything, and then you have this unbelievable career, and then all of a sudden you pick up a guitar and obviously you start writing songs and kaboom. I mean, obviously a ton of hard work, and I think that showcases in everything that you've learned through. But the fact that you've gone from that to this and still calling yourself a success story, that's got to be a million to one, man. How do you feel about that when people bring that up?
Yeah, no, it's really special. I personally feel like I'm kind of just getting still started in a really interesting way. Like, definitely great things are going on. And, I jokingly even said, like, this year it feels like, okay, now we got drafted to the league to play. Now we got to go play. So,
right.
It's been really awesome, again, trying to take in the little moments and sit and, enjoy stuff and not get worked up about little things like today being stuck on the side of the road. And yeah. It's pretty great job. So
that's just rock star living, man. I mean, this is your first thing. You said the bus has been kind of wonky since you got it. What else has been going through over there?
We just had like a little electrical issue the other day, and then I don't know now if it's like a fuel pump thing. I don't even know. I came in like covered in grease everywhere, and I'm like, again, my job's pretty good. So
yeah, your name's on the side of the bus. That's not your fault to go on back underneath and try to figure stuff out down there too, right?
There was a time when I had to do that stuff, so I don't.
Obviously, we're playing your new single, Trouble, on CISN Country. And again, one of those tunes that you kind of just have to slow everything down and just listen to the lyrics, man. And it sounds super duper personal. I'd love to hear the story behind it, and then just kind of go into the facts of putting it together and having that be your next release single.
Yeah, we weren't even sure if it was going to be the next single, and it's kind of crazy how we've watched the song just kind of grow on all the different kind of platforms and radio. And yeah, the song just came from an honest place. Like the same guy actually I wrote First Days of Gone with, it was just him and I, and he had FaceTimed me one morning. He was on a writing retreat for a different artist, and he was sitting out on the patio, and he was kind of pissed off because everybody was still sleeping in, and he wanted to write something. And he's like, I got this idea called Trouble. I don't know if it's like I'm trouble or I'm in trouble. And then honestly, shortly after that, I had left my ex-girlfriend at the time a voicemail saying, basically like, if you could you come home, because babe, I feel like I'm in trouble. And ended up coincidentally like being the hook for the song. And
wow.
So it was just the whole song's the truth. It's just kind of me figuring out Nashville and figuring out, living in different scenes and this life, and making little mistakes along the way, definitely, and trying to be a better person. And I think when we were trying to decide on what the next radio single was going to be, it was like, do we do an up tempo or a mid tempo, or do we do something like Trouble, where I feel like people actually really get to know me vocally, and with it, it's also like my first US radio single too. So it's kind of like a lot of new people listening. So
I love that, man, because sometimes you get people who they just want the downloads, right? And then but you actually, you took a big swing, and obviously it's paying off too. So you must feel kind of like the smartest guy in the room sometimes on that kind of stuff then too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just instinctively, I felt, like that was the next best move. And yeah, it's weird. Like, it gave me the same feeling that First Days of Gone did when I left, or, when we had the song ready, and I was like, this feels right to be the next one. So
I love that, man. Well, that's perfect. Saturday, Rogers Place. I hear it's sold out, but there might be a couple of stragglers too. Really quickly, if somebody hasn't seen you opening up for the biggest band of, again, our generation, what do they expect out of the show walking in? Without
I'm definitely going to play songs that people that do know who I am, will be able to sing along to, and then definitely going to play some new stuff. And then hopefully there's a lot of people there that had no clue that I was even going to be there. And then that's kind of the people that I've been really enjoying playing for every night. And try to play some up-tempo stuff, and then have some emotional moments, and then kind of bring it back up by the end of the show. So,
well, I'm sure you weren't expecting your day off to be on the side of a Saskatchewan highway, but I think you probably have spent enough time to figure out what a bunny hug is over there by now too, right?
Yeah, we'll be just fine. We're gonna survive here, and we'll make it. We'll make it for tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be fun. We're gonna definitely want to probably party a little tomorrow night. So
absolutely, man. Okay, well, congratulations again. Next time you come through, let's get this in person. And yeah, dude, sure. Good luck with everything. And it's great to meet you, and keep coming with the great music, man. Our listeners are all over it for sure.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, man. Take care.
CISN Afternoons with Ethan.